Good morning. Good morning. Well, you are going to be so happy you made it in here today on this cold, it's a little bit icy, snowy Sunday morning here at Unity of Charlottesville. Sorry about the Charlottesville, because we have a power-packed service today, and you can feel the energy in here this morning. It's palpable. My name is Janice Gilmore. I am your celebration assistant for today, and this dashing young man to my left is our beloved senior minister, Reverend Don Lansky, and we have a special guest. Yes, she is very special to all of us and dear to our hearts, and we love her dearly. Reverend Patricia Gulino Lansky will be sharing the message with all of us with Don today. And we have a special guest musician, Susan Munson. Our dear beloved Blair, I understand, is in Brooklyn. She's in Brooklyn? Wow. I'm sure she's cold. So without further ado, Susan will be singing Susan, you're going to be singing 3 of your own songs today. Yes, I am. And the first one, no, but it's a great song, and then the rest will be all hers. So let's get started with singing.
Feel free to join us on the chorus. I want to talk to my sisters and my brothers. Keep the faith. 'Cause when the storm flies and the wind blows, go on at a steady pace. 'Cause when the battle is fought and the victory is won, we can all shout together, we have overcome. We can talk to the Father and the Son when we make it to the promised land. And if we walk together, little children, we don't ever have to worry through this world of trouble. Oh, we got to love one another. So let us take our fellow man by the hand, try to help him to understand that we will all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. Well, our Bible reads, thou shalt not be afraid of the terrors by night, or the arrows that fly by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the dark, nor for destruction that waiteth in the noonday hour. And if we walk together, little children, we don't ever have to worry through this world of trouble. We got to love one another. So let us take our fellow man by the hand, try to help him to understand that we will all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. This world is not our home. We are only passing through. Our trail is all made up way beyond the blue. So let us do our very best while we can. while we're traveling through this land, and we will all be together, shaking a hand when we make it to the promised land. And if we walk together, little children, we don't ever have to worry through this world of trouble. Oh, we gotta love one another. So let us take our fellow man by the hand, try to help him to understand, and we will all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. When we make it to the promised land.
Come on.
When we make it to the promised land.
Put your hands together, yeah.
Make it to the promised land. Oh, make it to the promised land. When we make it to the promised land. Make it to the promised land. Yeah, we will all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. Yeah, we will all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me in the back? No. Yes? Okay, good. Welcome. Welcome to Unity of Charlottesville, and for those of you who might be here for the first time, Unity welcomes people of all faiths, all religions, all sexual orientation and gender identity. Everyone is welcome here, and it's our tradition to begin with prayer. Before I do that, I want to make sure that everybody got one of these pieces of papers that came in. If you had seen our newsletter this week, we had a guest speaker scheduled for this morning, and because of the weather, she's up in Portland, Maine, so she had to cancel. So the message this morning is you all. Patricia and I used to do these occasionally, everything that you ever wanted to know about Unity, and we haven't done one of these since before the pandemic, probably 4 or 5 years. So what we'd like to ask you to do is to think about is a question that you might have about unity or about the universe or about God or about, I don't know, about jelly beans, whatever you have a question about. And we will try to answer it. So, okay? So during the service, be thinking about this, and we'll collect these, and then we'll try to answer your questions and have a conversation, really. And it'll be a joint conversation among us all, right? So let's begin with prayer, and I invite us to take a deep breath. We'd love to say that this is a day that the Lord has made. There's a divine energy, divine presence that is with us, that is all around us. And it's up to us to be present, to be awake, to acknowledge. So we take a moment to do that now. To give thanks for all of our blessings. And to hold in our hearts also those that are so much suffering in the world, the fires out in California, all those affected. We send forth love and prayers. And for the war-torn areas around the world, we send forth a vision of peaceful resolution. Perhaps there's someone in your life that you know, or perhaps yourself, that is in need of healing this morning. And so we affirm the wisdom of the body temple, that we are infused with the light and the love of God, however you conceptualize that. We take a moment to acknowledge that if there's any challenges that you're facing in your life right now, anything that needs guidance or needs direction, we as a spiritual community, as we support one another affirm that each and every one of us has all of the wisdom and all of the guidance we need to move forward for our highest and best good. We claim all this in the name and after the nature of the indwelling presence of God, which we call the Christ within. And so it is. Amen.
And let's conclude by sharing our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And as we get ready to sing our welcome song, I neglected to welcome our praise singers this morning and our band, so let's give them a welcome. And here we go, please. Give your neighbor a hug, a handshake, a bow, a curtsy, whatever. Roam the room if you'd like to meet someone you've never met before.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Take it away, baby. This is Hi, guys. Are we all happy to be here? All right, let's put our hands together. I'm in the right place at the right time.
I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. It's good to be back. We are recovered and yes, so this morning we are having youth class, elementary age with Patsy downstairs in the large classroom. And I will be leading the Uniteens in the library. So if you're here for youth class, you can meet us in the back of the sanctuary after the blessing. And we are ready for the blessing. Children, Uniteens, YOUers, teachers and parents, you are loved, special, and important.
Thank you. So we have some opportunities for transformation and
Thank you. We have the Earth Care team meeting at 12:15 today, and I encourage anyone who's been part of the Earth Care team to join us. I think we have some real wonderful opportunities to kind of have a conversation around how we want to launch to the entire community and also do some planning for the spring. So it'd be wonderful if you could come and be part of that conversation and that creativity that we need. We need you there. We have 3 days for Unity of Charlottesville to participate in the Habitat for Humanity Faith Build. We did this last year. A number of people were part of that. And the dates are up on the screen, so I don't have to remember what they are. There's 3 dates in February, and there's different days. One's a Wednesday, one's a Friday, and one's a Saturday to hopefully accommodate different people's schedule. One thing to keep in mind is you don't have to have any skills. They are so good about helping kind of people tackle different things. I actually last year got brave enough to use a air compressor hammer. I felt so powerful, but I really got inspired to do that after 2 of the people who are going to be living in the houses, these 2 young women, figured out how to use it. And I thought, heck, if they can do it, I can do it. So you don't have to have any skills, but please join us. It's a wonderful opportunity for Unity to be part of both the work of Habitat and helping create houses for people, but also work with other faith communities. So it's a wonderful way to us be in the larger community.
Thank you, Tony.
Jeff, okay. Jeff's going to come up and share about our Kirtan experience here at Unity of Charlottesville.
Yes. So next Saturday from 2 to 3:30, we have a love offering. All the proceeds go to Unity, and it's Kirtan, which is Indian chanting. And we this Saturday we have a wonderful woman named a guitarist named Gabrielle leading it. And so, but I'll also be contributing a chant. It's a really it's a very heartfelt time to center. So if you're interested, come and join in.
Thank you, Jeff. And next week is our hug meeting right after church, so please join us for that.
And our next men's group will be, well, actually, it's the 4th Sunday of each month. So the next one will be in, okay, it's the 4th Sunday.
Whatever the 4th Sunday is. That's when it'll be. Oh, you do? Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. The Winter Meditation Retreat, Resting in Stillness, is coming up February 1st, Saturday, February 1st. It'll be all day right here in the sanctuary, and I invite you to come. Many of you have signed up already. If you were at the last year winter retreat, this one will be different. So don't think you're just going to be repeating the same old thing, meditating again. But it'll be much improved and changed a bit, and focusing really on the body and a deep, deep relaxation of the body, which allows, of course, healing to occur. I wanted to also mention that next week, on the 19th, will be the day when the price increases. So some of you told me that you're going to register. This would be the week to do it if you want the discount. And in any case, we'll look forward to having a warm and wonderful time together in community on February 1st. Thank you.
Thank you. And obviously, winter is upon us, all around us. So just to notice that if we have to, we will never cancel church. If we don't have a church in person, we'll always do it on Zoom. But the way you find out about this stuff is by signing up for a text alert or watching the local news or calling our church phone number and listening to the answering message. And we'll also send out an e-blast as well. So just to be aware of that. And if you want to sign up, we do now have a brand new office manager. Her name is Carolyn. She's fabulous. I invite you to talk to her and meet her and say hello to her. She's a really wonderful lady, and she'll be here Mondays through Thursdays from 9 to 3:30.
Fantastic. And we continue to have our healing half hour every Wednesday via Zoom, 6:30 to 7 p.m.
And we, when we de-Christmasized last week, we took down all of the stars, the remembrance stars from the tree. So if you have someone a star that you'd like to take home with you, they're all here. After today, we'll probably have to dispose of them. So if you would like to take one home, please do that. And now, this weekend, we had our annual board retreat. So we met Thursday night, all day Friday, and half a day yesterday. So these guys who serve on the board are heroes, giving up their time and their dedication and their love and their service for our community. It's an amazing, and I know that there are many people in this room who've served on boards, on the Board of Trustees here at Unity, so you know what that's like. But we have an exceptional Board of Trustees this year. And I would like to welcome our new 2025 Board of Trustees to come up. And Ginny Kelly, who's getting off the board, if you would come up as well. So this is our 2025 Board of Trustees, and I want you to give them a warm welcome because they are amazing, just absolutely amazing. And before we introduce the 2025 Board of Trustees, who you already know anyway, but we'll formally introduce them. But Ginny Kelly is getting off of the board. And Ginny, before you go, as your last final formal thing, we would like to acknowledge you for, you've been on the board for 3 years as the secretary and have done an amazing job. And, it's always, it's a kind of a strange experience to have a new board every single year. Every year 2 people get off, 2 people get on, and the whole group dynamic changes. So it's quite amazing. But you did a wonderful job, and we have our thanks to give you, and we have also this to give you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything, or
What's it?
would you like to say something?
All right. Hi. Yeah, I just want to let you know what a privilege it was to serve on the board, and any way that we can support the new members, we're going to do, because they do have excellent backgrounds and are going to join the board with lots of skills. So that's about it. I thank you for your for allowing me to serve.
Thanks, Jenny. Okay. Good. So one of the things that we do as a board of trustees is that we sign a board covenant. These are kind of our intentions for our service on the board. I'm also on the board as well. And so let me introduce and start with Greg Nelson, who's our board president. And if you could just introduce yourself, say your name, and then we'll read our board covenant.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Greg Nelson, and I will be serving as board president this year.
Good morning. I'm Christine Latza, and I'm serving as the assistant secretary.
Hello, I'm Tony Bouchard, and I'm serving as the assistant treasurer.
Hi, I'm Katie Zamito, and I'll be treasurer this year.
Hi, I'm Wayne Thomas, and I'm your vice president this year.
And I'm Jane Scafty, and I'm the secretary this year.
So we're gonna read to you our board covenant, and this is the Unity of Charlottesville Board of Trustees 2025 covenant. We commit to upholding and supporting the ministry of Unity of Charlottesville by practicing Unity truth principles and by being open and receptive to guidance of the indwelling Christ in all our decisions, or however we conceptualize higher power.
We dedicate our tenure on the board to serving God, our spiritual community, and those around us to the best of our ability, to live in a manner that sets the highest example for others to follow, and to remain responsive to God's guidance.
We manifest our commitment through our active involvement in Unity of Charlottesville and seek to live and demonstrate a spiritually principled lifestyle by
Holding sacred space for this church, its members, congregants, fellow board members, and minister.
Regularly attending Unity of Charlottesville functions and Sunday services.
Warmly greeting all who enter our doors.
Confidentiality tithing of time, talent, and treasure.
Acknowledging the loving service of staff and volunteers.
Ensuring continuous improvement and excellence by being direct in our communications, such as no gossip, and keeping our agreements.
actively engaging and taking time for our own spiritual growth process.
Enthusiastically participating in volunteer service.
Regularly attending and being on time for board meetings.
Participating in the annual board retreat, usually held in the second week of January.
To the best of our ability, fulfilling the terms to which we were elected.
Maintaining confidentiality.
So this is an amazing commitment and dedication of people who really, really are holding our entire Unity community in consciousness and for the highest and best. So can we show some love to these amazing people? Can we do that? Thank you all. Thank you all.
So let's now share together our mission statement.
Whoops.
It's there somewhere. There we go. Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world. And now we have Susan Munson, once again with one of her originals.
Well, I got you, she said. Don't worry about a thing. Together we can do just about anything. You can depend on me. I'll depend on you. Together we can do what we've got to do. Well, I needed a ride to the grocery store. 10 minutes later, she was there at my door. We stopped along the way to rescue a cat. She looked at me, and that was that. Now I know just how lucky we are. We've got each other and we're higher than the stars. 2, 3. Well, I got you, she said. Don't worry about a thing. Together we're gonna do everything. Well, I'm happy outside, working in the yard, planting flowers for the bees, playing my guitar. The cat likes the yard, I like the cat. I never thought my life would change just like that. Now I know just how lucky we are. We've got each other and we're higher than the stars. Well, I got you, she said. Don't worry about a thing. Together we're gonna do everything. I said together we're gonna do everything. Yeah.
everyone fill out the forms if you have questions and all of that stuff. So can we have the ushers collect these and bring them up here? Just kind of pass them forward. And I am really happy to present to you my beloved Reverend Patricia Galina Lansky. So we will do this together. We will attempt to do it together.
Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to say, Susan, that is a true unity song that you wrote. It was very lovely. It's got our ideas and our thoughts in it. So thank you very much for sharing it with us. And I'm wondering if you'd be okay if we have all the other board members.
Yes, it would.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. While we're collecting this, it's the board induction day. And as Don said, many of you have already served on the board. And if you were willing to stand, we'd like to acknowledge you as well, because you've given incredible service over the years. And please stand. Anybody who has ever served on the board of trustees, look around. We've got a few: Kathy, Jackie, Buddy, Marge. Yes, yes, yes. Carol Trainham, our first prez when we were here. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
You can bring them up so we can start.
Give us something to begin with.
Anything. Now, we may not get to all these. We'll try to. We may not get to them. And the reason we asked you...
Do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the reason we asked you to put your name and email is because if we don't have time to do this now, we can send you an email and try to answer your question. So, right. So, Heidi's asking, when is the next required Unity class for membership? So that's a great question. Thank you, Heidi, for asking that. Because, this year, our mortgage is due in March, so we have to reapply for our mortgage. They're going to want to see how many members we have and if we're growing and all of this stuff. So if you're thinking about becoming a member, this is a good time to do it. And I will announce next week when we will have our memberships. We'll probably do them in February. And there'll be 2 Wednesdays at 7:15 on Zoom. So you'll see that soon. You'll announce that.
Well, here's a very practical one as well. What was Reverend Don's favorite movie of 2024? And just how many movies did Reverend Don watch in 2024?
So many. so many. Oh, gosh. I don't know how to answer that. Let me think about that. I'll get back on that one. Why do we say omnipresence in our statement of faith? It seems everyone stumbles over that.
Good.
That's yours.
Thank you for asking that. I hoped you would. Well, in Unity, we always think that there's 3 omnis, right? Omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience. Okay, omniscience. But there really are 4. Because in Unity of Charlottesville, there's also the Omni Hotel. I live with this guy, you realize.
So bad.
But to more directly answer your question, if God, it has to do with grammar, simply grammar. Is God a being? Or is God an energy force? That's where it comes down to. So if God is a being, a man, which we don't teach in Unity, then you would say omnipotent, because he is omnipotent, like the king is omnipotent. But if God, as we teach, is love, is nature, is energy itself, is spirit, then it is a quality omnipotence. Does that make sense? It's grammar, basically.
Yep.
And your belief in what is God.
And we should emphasize, especially for those who are relatively new to Unity, you don't have to believe a word that we say. Isn't that cool? Right? So this is a place that we hope you can discover what's true for you. So just take that into account.
But they are teachings. They are unity teachings that you can, mull over and see if it fits with you. What are the biggest opportunities that you see for unity as a faith community? What are our opportunities to grow?
So many.
Yeah.
Who wrote the? Are you willing to say who wrote the question?
Oh.
Yeah. What's behind your question? Yeah. This has really been up for the Board of Trustees, one of the things in the strategic plan has been about just the maintenance of the facility. We have an 18-year-old facility, and things are starting to, break down here and there. So we had an independent building inspector come in and give us a 3, 5, and 10-year plan on our facility. And so the Board of Trustees will be looking into how to strategize and how to prepare for these different things that go on in the facility. What I see is Unity becoming more into community outreach, and we have Tony Bouchard and Shirley Fleischman who've really taken the championship of that and taken it out and done such an amazing job. There's no reason that Unity has to be the best kept secret in town, that people don't know what it is, or you say, I go to Unity, and they say, oh, you're Unitarian. That ever happened to you? Right? There's no reason for that. Years ago when we first got here, there was a guest speaker one Sunday from the Course in Miracles group who spoke about New Thought evangelism, which I thought was really interesting. In Unity, we don't try to save anybody. We don't try to convert anybody. We just accept people for where they are. But his idea was we're too wussy about it. Just go out and say, if Unity means something to you, go out and tell people about it. Say who you are. But community outreach is one thing that I see. The other thing that I would like to see is many more classes and opportunities for spiritual growth. And with the situation we've had with our office manager, where we lost our office manager essentially, we haven't had I just haven't had the time to do all that. So I would like to really see a lot more opportunities for people to plug into spiritual curriculum and adult curriculum. Does that answer that? Yeah, okay.
Are these already done?
Yeah, those are done.
Okay.
Want to do this
Can
one?
you give me a few?
Yeah.
Stephen, I knew you would say something like this. How does Unity understand the study of Abraham and Isaac metaphysically? And should we look at other Old Testaments? How should we look at other Old Testament stories? Well, that's a lovely question. And I wanted to clarify, first of all, that in Unity, we often talk about the metaphysical interpretation of the Bible, which goes beyond the literal. So that's something to keep in mind. There's another distinction that I want to present, the difference between Scripture and the Bible. The Scripture is the parts that you could interpret metaphysically, the stories, the allegories, all of that. The Bible, in quotes, is books like Leviticus and Deuteronomy that are not able to be interpreted metaphysically. There are a lot of lists about dietary ideas and restrictions and so forth. So that's an important distinction, first of all. But surely the story of Abraham and Isaac begs to be interpreted metaphysically. And as you may know, it is one of the more challenging stories in the Bible when you think of it literally, because the story, as you may remember, is that Abraham is told by God to sacrifice his only son, Isaac, who they waited for almost, I think Sarah was 90 when she gave birth, and she laughed when God said you would give birth at 90. But this precious, precious child, all children are precious, but I think the story, metaphysically and symbolically, indicates that Isaac wasn't only special as every child is, but he was extra special, to wait that long for him and to be the only one, the only child that they had. So God tells him to sacrifice Isaac, and because God asked Abraham something, he obeys. And he takes Isaac to the place on the hill, binds him, puts him on the altar like the sacrificial lamb, another symbol there, and is about to kill him with a knife. And just when he is about to do it, God stops him. And to me, metaphysically, this is such a powerful story because it reminds me of the things that we are asked to do many times in our lives. Times perhaps when we have had to, I think about it when I became a minister. To become a minister, i.e. God, asked me to give up my private practice, to sell my house, to leave my spiritual community, to move halfway across the country in order to do what I was being guided to do, to become a minister. Certainly those things were precious to me. But what was more precious was following the Word of God and doing what was needed to be done. And sometimes it feels like symbolically killing the thing that you love the most. Does that make sense?
What I was doing when Patricia was speaking, this is the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. This is one of the resources that are available to us. We might have a copy in the bookstore, but this is something that Charles Fillmore, who is the co-founder of Unity, meeting with other clergy, meeting with also rabbis, and looking at the metaphysical meaning of every single proper name in the Old and New Testament. So every person's name, every river, every city, every town, all of that. So it's an interesting resource if you're looking to find hidden meanings of things in the Bible, just to think about. And what it says about Abraham is, where was it? I just had it. Abram, which was the name before God changed the name to Abraham. Abram is the name that the author of Genesis gave to the quality through which man has faith in the forces invisible. When this faith is concentrated upon the one God, a God consciousness is established, and man intuitively knows that he is in communication with the ever-living source of all existence. It was in this way that Jehovah communicated with Abram. So there's a lot more here, but I just wanted to give you a taste of what that is. And what it says about Isaac is that...
so basically faith
right.
in God, faith in God's word.
Isaac, the metaphysical meaning of Isaac, divine sonship. Isaac meaning laughter signifies the joy of the new birth and the new life in Christ, which is the spiritual consciousness of relationship to God the Father. Man rejoices greatly in his privilege of expressing as the Son of God. So there's a lot more here which we don't need to go into, but we do have copies of this. I believe do we have any in the library? So in the Metaphysical Library, which is the love child of Wayne and Ginger, who've done a magnificent job down there. So many different resources, including this Metaphysical Bible Dictionary.
So, ready for another one?
Why doesn't Unity have annual gatherings?
Why?
Why doesn't Unity have annual gatherings? I'm not sure what that means, Clay. The Unity movement has an annual gathering every year in Kansas City in Lee Summit, which is where Unity World headquarters is. And it's open to everybody. It used to be called the People's Convention. So anybody can attend that. I think this year it's June 16th to 19th, maybe, three days. And lots of different events and speakers and all of that. People from Unity churches all around the country go attend that. Did you mean an annual event for this church?
I'm waiting on my coupon.
Your coupon? Yeah. But are you talking about an annual meeting for this church?
It seems like every spiritual community I've been in or been close to, they have a strong presence, they make a lot of noise, there's singing, there's dancing, there's picnics.
So like a celebration, yeah.
And here I've been in Charlottesville since 1990, and I haven't seen one here yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we used to have a lot of them before the pandemic.
Yeah, you know, so a question like this has to do with the concept of champions. You know, we have had at some points when Valerie Freyer was here, she was our leader of celebrations, and she was good at that, really good. So, but then she moved, so that spot is vacant. So if anyone would like to step into celebration, that is absolutely available.
Great. Okay, I appreciate that Unity welcomes all, including diverse political beliefs. My question, how does the church address and how will the church address political leaders' words and actions in opposition of the values of the church? So Kelly, thank you for that. I think, where is Kelly? Yeah. Politics is on everybody's mind. Unity is unique, I believe, in our country and in the world, in that it is unity, which means all people are welcome, no matter what their beliefs are, or their thoughts, or their backgrounds, or what religion they came from, or may even be practicing now. It is also a spiritual community. And so there are people here from every political persuasion, and we're glad for that. And it is a space, I say, unique, where we can come together and love each other, even if we don't agree on political issues. We do not present politics from here because we are presenting the spirituality for people to come together in that way. So, does that answer your question? Okay.
That is a way more challenging question for me. Patricia and I have debates about this. You know, and I agree with everything that she said, actually. So we walk a very, very fine line, and especially at this particular time when it feels to me that there is a moral imperative for a clergy to speak out against hate and violence and hateful speech and all of that stuff. So, and we in Charlottesville can be particularly sensitive to that since we went through the events of 2017 downtown. So it's a thin line, but I think the overriding principle there is unity and loving all and just being a stand and a presence for love. That's our position. So,
well, and it's our teachings also.
And our teaching. And we expect that people, and we trust, actually, would be a better word, we trust that people will know what is theirs to do. So if someone, if there's some event, some march somewhere, we don't have to, as a church, organize that. People will know what to do. They will know in their hearts what to do. They will join together if they know what to do as well. So that's kind of our stance here.
I don't have any more.
Oh.
Okay, what are some tips and tricks to getting still and tapping into the indwelling God when you aren't feeling it? Megan, where are you? Are you coming to my meditation retreat on February 1st? Well, we spend all day doing that. We spend all day finding ways to deeply relax opening to Spirit. And repetition of prayer and meditation is what eventually opens that space for you to really be with Spirit that we say is who you are, getting in touch with the truth of your being. So it's practice. Every worship service, we have some time of meditation and prayer. And those are two of our principles that really take us deeply into knowing the truth of Spirit within us and beginning to feel it as well. So it's practice. It's a spiritual practice. And it does happen over time. It does.
I'll give you a simple version. I've been teaching Transcendental Meditation for 50 years, but the free version is take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Really, at any moment, you take a deep breath, and that will center you. Okay. This says, tell us about the Unity Village prayer line. Are you all familiar with Silent Unity? How many people are not familiar with Silent Unity? Raise your hand. So Silent Unity is a 24/7 prayer line that was introduced by the Unity movement way back in 1903. And actually, Unity started as a prayer ministry. And as it developed, now with, internet, phone calls, and all that stuff, people email in. It's interdenominational. People from all around the world call in. We have a fully staffed group. I worked there for a year at Unity Village. And people call in with all sorts of, you would be amazed at the kinds of prayer requests that come in from all around the world at that. So, but what's good to know about that is anytime you have a prayer request, we do have wonderful prayer teams here. Buddy Leffers, where's Buddy? Buddy, can you raise your hand? Buddy is the head of our prayer team and prayer partners, and we have our healing half hour every week. And Kevin is the head of our healing helpers who meet every week after church in this corner for prayer. But if you have a prayer request any time of day or night, you can call an 800 number, which I believe is on our website, and so a live human being will pray with you.
And they will also keep your prayer in the prayer chapel for 30 days, where people go on their shifts to pray over the prayer requests as well.
Did you want to say, Buddy? Buddy, let me have you use a microphone because people are online.
I don't have any more.
Yeah, I just wanted to just emphasize the fact that the Silent Unity is one of those places that prayers are referred to that come in we have what is referred to as a silent group of prayer, a group that we receive when we receive a prayer which is sent out to those individuals to join in this prayer request that's come in. It automatically goes, and very often it comes from Kevin's group, the Healing Helpers, but there may be other ways that we are made aware of something that someone wants to be prayed with, and I emphasize the with. That Silent Unity, that same request is forwarded to Silent Unity. So there's, you've got so much power. If there's something weighing on your mind or your soul, please, please, please make it known to these wonderful people who love you and support you. And of course that, as I say, goes into Silent Unity as well.
Okay, thanks, Buddy. Buddy's been doing this for a long time, so thank you.
And Kevin, too. Yeah. Oh, there's so many really good ones. I want to get through all of them.
We actually can only, I think we can only do one or two more because it's time.
I know. Okay, do you feel that humanity will get better, more peaceful, and cooperative in the next few decades? This is Clark. Clark, want to raise your hand? Clark? Oh, thank you, Clark. I really do. I really do believe that. And I know that Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, used to say that we are all on an ever upward spiral of spiritual development. And I believe that even though outer appearances may look contrary right now, that everything is coming from two opposite extremes. And because we are in polarized times. But eventually, and this has been predicted, that eventually that will flip into, rather than a dichotomy, into a one direction. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I am aware of times where pieces of it come together, and that gives me great hope. And I mentioned last week or the week before that astrologically we're moving right now in 2025 and 26 into a different way of feeling in the world, and I think you can experience it viscerally, that we used to be earth and water elements, and 2025 has begun fire and air. So with fire and air, what happens? Things are quicker, things are more dramatic, things are, surprising, like that. So that's what's happening. But I believe that it's all coming together for the greater good and the peaceful harmony in humanity. That is my deep, deep belief. And thank you for asking.
Well, it's also the intention of Unity and New Thought, really the whole New Thought movement, is regardless of outer condition, regardless of outer appearances, to come back to principle. And the principle is that God is love. And that the divine spirit is within us. Therefore, we are love. So we hold fast to that principle. We stand in that principle. We come back to that principle. And this place, we hope, and is a beacon of light in this community and in this world for individuals who are on that path and who are committed to that. So that's, what can we do? It's pretty noble work. So.
What is Unity's view?
Stop.
We can't stop yet. We've got 2 minutes. We've got 2 minutes.
Right.
And then we'll just meditate.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Okay. What is Unity's view of life after death? I thought you'd never ask. I know, I love this one. Did you read my book? Who wrote this? Let me give you my book. Who are you? Who are you? It's no shame. It's a good question. Okay, I won't give you my book then. Okay. Life after death. My gosh, if we are spirit having a human experience, we were spirit before we were born, we will be spirit after we die. We are eternal spirit. And what more can you say? When we die, we take off this earthly trappings, and then we are free spirit for all eternity. Nobody asked about reincarnation, so we won't go into that one. But, but we are spirit. What more can you say? Can you say anything? No.
Good.
Okay. All right.
What I say is yes, dear.
Okay. Real quick, what is the will of God? God is good all the time. God is only good. God's will is only good. That's it.
And you have choice, right? So that's a big deal in New Thought. So you have choice. We have free will. So it's our task is to be in alignment with our perception of what is for the highest and best, which is the ongoing work of the spiritual warrior, which you all are, or else you wouldn't be here at Unity.
Okay, real quick from Emmy. Emmy is here visiting. Jesus pictures the Sacred Heart in many paintings. What is the Sacred Heart? I was brought up Catholic. I believe that it is that essence, like you were saying, you know, the communion with one. That, and this, so we don't have that image in unity. In Catholicism, it's certainly there. But I believe it's also probably the interpretation of the artist that just probably felt darshan, wouldn't you say, from Jesus? You know, it's an Indian term, but that energy when somebody is such a high consciousness that when you're near them, you feel this emanating from their heart. And I think that was the artist's interpretation. That's my guess. And to end, what was the original motivation for the Fillmores to start Unity Church? Evelyn? Thank you. It's a really good one. We won't go into all of it.
Shall I show that little 2 minutes?
If you would like to.
Are you okay with going a little bit past 11:45? We have a little.
There's a beautiful little film clip about Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, the co-founders of Unity. And Myrtle is...
She's known
right
as
there.
Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, along with her husband Charles Fillmore. But she was
Lights,
born
please.
Mary Carolyn Page on August 6, 1845, the seventh of 9 children. As a child, she adopted the name Myrtle and would later reject the teachings of her strict religious parents. Ever since she was a little girl, Myrtle had been sick. At a young age, she contracted tuberculosis. For many years, she believed she was incurably weak and sickly.
I had all the ills of mind and body that I could bear. Medicine and doctors ceased to give me relief, and I was in despair.
That was until Myrtle discovered new spiritual ideas and principles we now call Unity. The year was 1886, and Myrtle was in her early 40s. She and her husband Charles attended a lecture by metaphysician Dr. E.B. Weeks of Chicago. Myrtle left the talk with a stronger faith and an understanding of her innate divine potential for healing through affirmative prayer.
It flashed upon me that I might talk to the life in every part of my body and have it do just what I wanted. I began to teach my body and got marvelous results.
Instead of seeing her body as weak, inefficient, and diseased, she began speaking words of strength and power to every part of her body: her liver, stomach, abdomen, limbs, eyes, and heart.
I didn't get discouraged at their being slow to wake up, but kept right on, both silently and aloud, declaring words of truth until they did respond. And neither did I forget to tell them that they were free, unlimited spirit. I told them they were the centers of life and energy, omnipresent.
Myrtle began regularly affirming,
I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness.
By repeating this affirmation, Myrtle believed she was going to get better. And 2 years later, she did. In 1888, she was healed of the tuberculosis condition that had threatened her life. Myrtle remained committed to blessing and encouraging her body with true thoughts and words.
I became very watchful as to what I thought and said. I didn't let any worried or anxious thoughts into my mind. And I stopped speaking gossipy, frivolous, petulant, angry words.
So that's all we have time to. Thank you for your questions. The ones we haven't answered, if there's an email, we'll look at them and send you an email. Okay. So we'll prepare for meditation. Susan, we invite Susan Munson to come back up and Ty.
Well, I heard the people talking, calling out my name, telling me to hurry. Oh, the prophet's on the way. He's gonna help us find our way to freedom. He said the road is dark and scary, woes and foes galore, plotting to prevent us from reaching golden shores. So listen to me only, others are all wrong. Follow me and hear my song. But the earth is singing joyfully, and those who listen are happy and free. So people, can you hear me? Hear now what I say. We don't need a prophet to help us find our way, 'cause we're already free now, free from everything. Listen to the trees sing. Oh, the earth is singing joyfully, and those who listen are happy and free. So tune in and listen to the song the earth is singing. We can all sing along.
God is my help in every need.
So, if you haven't already, I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you, and simply take a deep breath and relax as you exhale. Taking another deep breath and noticing any tension that may be in your body and just letting it flow down past your body to the earth. And we are so grateful for this time to come together in meditation, to be able to quiet the outer and go within to the deep source of who we truly are. And I invite you to allow your attention to be directly centered in your heart space. Feel the energy of your heart right now. It is an energy of extreme power and light and love. If you can get very, very still, you might even feel the beat of your heart that carries us without any effort or thought on our parts throughout our days and our nights. Always, always present, always beating, always reviving our entire body and sending out energy all around us. Pure, wholesome, loving energy all around us. And if anyone has a need that they are dealing with these days, and I'm sure all of us do, Myrtle used to say a beautiful prayer It started out, God is my help in every need. God does my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of this day. God is my all. I know no fear, since God and love and truth are here. I invite you to place whatever need you have right in the midst of the energy of God and love and truth. Hand it over to that higher state and know that you will be given all that you need to move through this time, this issue, with ease and grace. Take a moment now to claim that. I move through this issue with ease and grace. And so as you begin to return your consciousness to this time and place, we know that your prayers have been answered, that you are supported, and that all truly is well. And we are so grateful for this knowledge that we are spirit. We are surrounded by support and help. And so it is. So allow yourself now to return your consciousness to this time and place. Perhaps to move your hands or your feet a little bit to feel back into your body. Stretching perhaps your arms, your neck, just waking up the body a little bit. And when you are ready, simply allow your eyes to open, being back here once again.
Thank you, Reverends Don and Patricia. It is such a joy to have you up here together, sharing yourselves together with us. For those of you who are relatively new to Unity of Charlottesville, Reverends Don and Patricia arrived here at the time 9/11 was happening, right? Pretty much. And they were co-ministers together for 22 years, 20 years, when Patricia stepped out of that role and Don agreed to stay on as senior minister, which we're so grateful for. So it's just such a treat to have you back up here together. We love you. It's now time to give back a portion of all this love we've received here today. But before we do that, I'd like to ask if there's anyone here for the very first time today. Any newcomers today? Yay, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Did I see a hand over here? No? Okay. Welcome. We hope you've enjoyed your experience here. We hope to see you come back. There are, online folks. If there's anyone new to us online, please, if you can, join us here in the sanctuary. We'd love to meet you live here in the sanctuary. So there are many ways to give to Unity of Charlottesville: online, text to give, the U.S. mail, and here into our butterfly net, which Jane is coming around with. And we thank you all for your generosity, as always, your tithing of your time and talent, in addition to your monetary tithes. We are so grateful we're here because of you, and we are going to stay here forever. So let's say together our blessing of tithes and offerings. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And Maestro, please.
This old table with its scars underneath my hands stood strong and true while we wrote the family plans. These old chairs, canes a creaking, held our bodies to the light. The room aglow with love. What a sight! I remember those nights, those good-natured fights. This old table, these old chairs in my new house survive. They keep the memories of the past alive. This old bed with its pillows and homemade quilt slept many a baby till the morning light was spilt. This old dresser, drawers a creaking, held up clothes neat and clean, made with love my grandma Josephine. I remember those nights, those epic pillow fights. This old dresser, these old drawers in my new house survive. They keep the memories of the past alive. I remember those nights, those epic pillow fights. This old dresser, this old bed in my new house survive. Keep the memories of the past alive. This old bookshelf with my books, the ones I learned to read, sits in the hallway full of magic and make-believe. This old chest full of toys and my old memories, I'll share them with my family when I leave. I remember till the morning light. This old bookshelf, this old chest in my new house are alive as the memory memories of the past survive. Yes, the memories of the past are alive.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Let's give her a big, 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 some big love.
Thank you, Susan.
Oh, so we still have pastoral care. If you have a need, you can email unityofcharlottesville.org or call the office. And Healing Helpers, as Don mentioned, will be in the back corner, led by Kevin. And Buddy is here for individual prayer.
And next week, the talk will be Callings, Listening to the Promptings of Your Heart. So just want to thank everybody who's helped out. Luke has been on the sound today, and Bob is up there, and Barbara Olin, and Jane, and Peter on the blessing team, and our fabulous musicians. We have Blue and Ty and Jim. Susan, thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it. Thank you. And Janice, thank you.
Thank you,
our
Don.
praise singers, thank you for our praise singers. And let's stand and do our prayer for protection. There is fellowship downstairs today through these doors, and the Earth Care meeting is at, was it 12:15? 12:15, okay. So together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and wherever God is, all is well. And thank you, Reverend Patricia, for being here today as well. You are the heart of the Unity movement, so have a great day. Be careful on the ice, okay?